What's up, guys? It's Ward at Power Hungry Performance. If you know Power Hungry Performance, chances are you own a 7.3 liter Power Stroke, and you may even own our Hydra Chip. But what if I told you that the Hydra Chip also works on gas trucks? This is my farm truck. I kind of already have a tourmaline green OBS, but it's an F250 with a diesel. And I needed something for the farm. You know, this one's a little bit rough around the edges. It's not the perfect rig, but for a farm truck and for a good price, it works for me. And a lot of people don't know that the Hydra does work on the gasoline engines. This is, of course, an F150, 351 Windsor, single cab, short bed, 4-wheel drive, automatic. You know, a pretty basic farm truck. You could get these pretty much everywhere. Now they're a little bit harder to come by. Interior, it's got it. Big hole in the seat, that was included. Let's stick this thing in the shed and get to work. All right, got the truck back in the shop. We're gonna install a Hydra on it. The Hydra install can be done in about an hour with some basic hand tools. It's really not that difficult. Again, gasoline F-150 with a 351. It is a little rough around the edges, kind of higher mileage, but still should be able to add a nice little bit of horsepower to this thing. So we got the PCM here. I've got a small 1/4-inch ratchet with a short 10mm. It's hard to see. It's really tight in here, which is why I'm using a little bitty baby ratchet. But we'll take the plug off first, get the plug out of the way, and then we'll hit these. We'll hit the tops and the bottom bolts after. Top and bottom bolts for this little boot are 11mm. These are just finger tight. Lucky for me. Just get the boot off so we can get the PCM out. On these OBS trucks, the PCM is right here, driver's side firewall. The best way to get at it is going to be actually through this fender liner. So Phillips head screwdriver, small ratchet. We're going to pop off this chrome piece. We're going to get up in there. You can either take the whole fender liner out, or you can just pop the fender liner down, whatever you prefer. And if your truck has lived in a field like mine has, you'll be lucky to get all these screws out. Well, good. Most of my screws are missing. Oh, yeah. Shop helper. And these fender liner bolts are a 7/32. All right, so I've got most of the bolts out of the fender liner. You can take something like a broom handle or a pry bar, whatever you want, slide it in there and just pop the fender liner down. That'll give you enough room to pull the PCM out. If you want to, you can take out all these bolts, take the whole fender liner out, and the PCM will come out. This is a farm truck. I'm not hurting anything, so I'm just gonna pop the fender liner down the easy way. All right, a little bit of a struggle, sure, but we're out. What we're gonna be looking for is this PCM code. For me, it's LAY1. We'll punch that into the Hydra Flash software and see if we've got some tunes. If not, I'll have to call Bill. All right, so these PCMs are a little bit different. Instead of the 6 bolts on top like you'll have on the diesel, some of them you'll have little star bits. I have a T15, which we'll just use to gently remove this cover. There we go. So we'll get this cleaned up. All right, the lighting's not great in here, but we're gonna clean this PCM up real quick. Inside the box, you get a chip, get a little display, and you'll get some cleaning materials as well. We're gonna do most of it with this brass brush. These old ones can be pretty slimy to begin with. It looks like I've got a leaking capacitor, so this PCM may have to come back out a little bit later. All right, I'm just finishing it up with the Scotch-Brite pad. Since I've got it, I am going to go ahead and just resolder these. This isn't required, but I like to do it. Using 6040 10 lead Rosen core solder. Call that good. Clean all the flux off, reinstall it in the truck. All right, so you got the PCM all cleaned. I resoldered it. It's not required, but I like to do it, especially since I had it here. I'm going to put this back together, installed in the truck, but just for your information, there's a deep side and a shallow side, and the chip is going to go on the deep side. If you want to think about it like that, you'll of course attach your cables, but it's going on the deep side like that. We do occasionally get people that pull the case apart, install it on the wrong side, put the case back together, and that will not work. Got the Hydra and the PCM, USB cable and the ribbon cable, feeding those back to the wall. But before I get that plumbed back in, we're just gonna throw a couple pieces of duct tape, this is Gorilla Tape, a couple pieces of tape over the Hydra chip, just to make sure no dust or trash or debris gets in there. You know, cheap insurance for it, vibrating, things like that. So we're gonna get a read off of this because we don't have any files made for this PCM yet. So click this read ECU. I'll just stick that on my desktop next to my World of Warcraft. I'll send this to Power Hungry Performance. We'll have Bill take a look at it and get me a file made for this. All right, got me a file back for my Hydra. Ignore all my wires. We're running on the Hydra. This is just a CAN file for right now. But yeah, there you go. So that's it, guys. Sun's getting pretty low. Got a file back from Power Hungry, and she's running F-150, running on the Hydra chip. So yeah, so if you've got an F-150, you know, if you've got or 250, 350, if you've got a 5.8, if you've got a 460, if you've got a gasser, if you've got a Mustang, if you've got a Ranger, and it has this EEC4, EEC5 style PCM, you can put a Hydra on it. Tighten up the transmission, a little better throttle response, typically better fuel economy. If you want to run a different octane fuel, you can do that as well. So, thanks for watching.